What it do? I need the fill in, man. I need the fill in. Let me know what's going on in the world, baby. At least in regard to all the hoopla, whatever you niggas is talking about, whoever's in his life. I just need y'all to let me know one thing. One thing. What's going on, baby? I ain't been in the loop. I ain't been seeing what's going on, but I do. I feel like where there's attention, there's light. So be it that you got all the attention centered around certain subjects like this subject niggas is talking about the baby, whatever's going on with the baby, which I don't know, which some of you could please fill me in on, but it's garnering a lot of attention. And be it that we have a lot of energies and light forces fixated on that specific subject, I made it a point in Dame's world to just rap a taste. You feel me? I got time. I got time today. Excuse me. But we got time today to just shoot the shit with my people. For those who haven't subscribed, subscribe to Dame's World. We got content ranging from bar breakdowns to eye tests to real talks to sociological issues to today's mathematics, which I just dropped. You feel me? Excuse me, I'm texting. Excuse me. No, but yeah. I want to hear opinions. I want to trade perspectives. I want to at least get, you feel me, the scope. I seen something because again, one thing I'm not privy to is really keeping up with the event. Sometimes I go in my little box of reality, and within that reality, I don't know what's going on outside. I see Summer Walker a lot. I don't even know who Summer Walker is. I just keep seeing her name so much flooding on my timelines that I don't know what's going on with that instance as well as the baby. So anybody in here, please fill me in through text. Somebody say what's going on so I could read that motherfucker and get a grasp between Summer Walker and the baby. Because them is the two hottest topics down my timeline. As if it ain't a motherfucking war outside, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point of this video. Like I said, you take an instance that garners attention, then you see how we can make light out of the instance in itself. I see this being somewhat of a domestic issue. So, regardless of the celebrity infatuation we got to really following these people obsessively, or the nature of why people are tuned into one certain thing while there's a war outside, we can use these instances because look, individuals like myself, we can't stop people's attention from being grasped. People's attention just get grasped largely by the mainstream media. So when it does, you see where people's light, energy, force, attention is literally force. The more attention you pay to something, the better you are at conquering that task at hand. So seeing all the light and attention fixated on this area, I want to talk about it. So please, anybody just entering, what's going on with the baby situation? What? Somebody give me the scoop. Give me the rundown. You feel me? Got a couple people in here right now. Just started the live, but give me the rundown. What's the hoopla about? Summer Walker. What's the hoopla about when it comes to that? You feel me? From what I gather, which I didn't gather much. I still need somebody to give me the spill. But from what I gather, the baby treated his baby mama a certain way, kicking her out the house. That's all I really got. I don't know really much else. I don't know anything to formulate a sound conclusion, but I do want to put some evidence to the table and then talk about something like domestic disputes, how a man is to treat a woman, how a woman is to treat a man. We operate generally, we operate differently. So I think that's a discussion that's up for grabs in regards to, like I said, generally the way we process information is just different. So the female has been more inclined to feel things that are said, you feel me, and not solely base it on just logic, the materials way of deducing something that's viable. No, I just feel that was what you said was fucked up. Even if what you said was fucked up was just purely logical, like baby, damn, you gained 12 pounds today. You gained 12 pounds this week. That could be a logical fact. But be it that you're dealing with a subject who might be more privy to emotions, that logical fact doesn't get sent as you meant for it to be sent. You know what I mean? And then in reverse, our ass could be over analytical as males. We're usually more privy to use reason and logic, whereas our emotions are more suppressed than when it comes to our female counterparts. So just even that level of understanding makes for good conversation and dialogue. So I'm gonna be in here for well, I'm gonna say we got all night. Like Luck said, we got all night. You feel me? Matter of fact, I'm uh finna just go live on IG too. Fuck it. You know, fuck it. Maybe they give me the scoop. Maybe they give me the scoop. Oh, there it is. Let me align them. What's Gucci? IG live introducing y'all. I'm on YouTube and live at YouTube and IG at the same time, so forgive me. It feels like I'm going in and out, but I'm trying to tap in. Domestic issues, the baby, what's going on in today's society to where most of the attention from at least the community in which I grew up in is engaged on this, and how can we make better from it? How does a man treat a woman? How does a woman treat a man? Police was involved. I'd also heard that, right? Somebody called the cops on somebody. Takes on that in regards to domestic instances being settled by law. Because as a former foster youth, luckily I was adopted by my auntie, so it was still family. But I am privy to these systems not applying as much care as they lead on when it comes to areas of foster care or settling domestic disputes. So while it may seem like the best measure to do, and mind you, I'm not talking about the baby situation, or I don't know what happened. Like I said, somebody please, uh, IG, YouTube, fill me in. But in generally, nigga going to jail. Yeah, that's how domestic disputes get settled when we uh, regard towards the system as opposed to handling these instances on our own. But again, everybody might not be equipped to take matters into their own hands. Some motherfuckers like to hit women. Some women like to hit men. Some people can't control their emotional status to where it gets violent. Therefore, there needs to be a mediator in that motherfucker. You feel me? A lot of the times that be a problem in itself. It's just you two motherfuckers seeing each other all day. But no, nonetheless, it's a lot of things to be touched on. I'm just waiting on people to hop in and give their perspective. Like you see the title, "What Happened with the Baby?" What happened in this situation? How do you perceive it? What's your thoughts? If we could segue, we always got to segue into this piece of greatness. The beauty of being wrong, my baby. You feel me? In stores, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles can come to me personally. But right now, we're talking about the Bible and this whole situation. And I think what a lot of people need to understand is that binary language. As humans, we speak a binary language. What I mean by that is a lot of the times we'll have a belief, a formulation, and then we'll assume that somebody else's belief is directly contradictory to ours. But the truth of the matter is, two beliefs can exist at the same time and not be contradictory. So what I see predominantly is, oh, he's wrong. He's wrong. And then I say, oh, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. This and that and the third. To be honest, the beauty of being wrong, baby, ain't no right definitively in this situation. But there is a level of understanding we can get to where more sound situations or uh, more sound decisions are made. Like we can all mutually concede that in a discrepancy, uh, domestic or just family or friend based, you shouldn't. You feel me? The last instance you should take would be to hit a motherfucker. You feel me? Because logically, as a collective, we've deduced that we don't want to harm others. This is like an ethical pretense that precedes the dinosaurs. You feel me? Don't harm thy neighbor, love thy neighbor, whatever they say in that motherfucker. So essentially, we can conclude certain general truths to abide by, but essentially, even then, motherfuckers will. There's countries, there are nations where they get it on. Domestic disputes are consistent between male hitting female, female hitting male. I'm not saying it goes both ways like that. There's like it's like this. When we mention rape, there's a uh, consistent viewpoint and a consistent person who fits the description of a rapist. Usually, it's a male. So when somebody points out, "Oh, females rape too," yes, I understand that. That is true. Females do rape too. Females do exploit teenage boys for sex a lot of the times. But you're pointing out the exception to the rule and not the rule. So in regards to this domestic disputes, yeah, women hit men for sure. This is for sure, but it's more of a common denomination for the man to be hitting the woman. And then we got to ask ourselves, at least assume we don't know where does this stem from. But you got our patriarchy society that don't play no games. In this patriarch, the woman, as well as the black man, has been viewed subordinate. So objectifying them when needs aren't met may lead to devaluing or exploiting or even harming. Because again, it's like how we treat dogs. When you devalue the life of a dog, therefore, when they do bad, you just don't, you can hit them, you can haul off on them. They're a dog. You feel me? It's analogous to how women and melanated people have been treated in Western society. So when you start rooting the shit, domestic disputes, and it's not just Western society. This happens in the Middle East. This happens all over. Universal domestic disputes, men hitting women predominantly. So we just gotta really assess the roots of shit like that, and even deconstruct them. Because if it's something rooted in us, then essentially uh, it is needed to be deconstructed in its entirety. If hitting women or objectifying women was something that our society has inherited unconsciously, then today in that society, that needs to be something we got to deconstruct. I've talked to some people that literally, well, I was in an Uber, so luckily this motherfucker You feel me? It's no associate of mine, because otherwise we would have broke that association. But I was in the Uber and it was somebody from Brazil, I want to say, talking about his domestic disputes that he's gotten in and how it was bullshit because from where he's from, Brazil, but I don't know which part. That doesn't mean every part of Brazil is like this. It's acceptable to hit women. So he was just like, "Oh man, this is what he's saying verbatim. These bitches think they got it out here in America, like these white bitches think they got control or some type of power." So in essence, what he was saying to me is the westernized woman, while even though I perceive uh, the construct of patriarchy to be alive and well, he was saying that women here have more power than where he was from, and that it's a damn shame that the woman would actually talk back type shit, which led him to his domestic disputes. Essentially, he was just writing her out. You know, you get comfortable with a nigga. You in the Uber, you chilling. This motherfucker think he befriended you. Now you feel like he could confide in you. So the nigga started telling me about uh he had two domestic disputes, and both of them was because the woman to him was getting out of line. And I'm like, who created this line? Who created this line, and where is it? Where does the line get drawn? Some women are outspoken. Some women want to drive the wheel of the ship at times, not all the time, but not every woman is going to be docile and submissive to a man's wants, needs, ideologies, behaviors, and even his indiscretions, especially not his indiscretions. A lot of niggas want girls to be with them regardless. And that's the difference between a relationship and just unconditional love. I want what's best for niggas regardless. You feel me? That's my unconditional love for people. But that relationship, that level of coexisting, intermingling with energies and thoughts and physical presence, I gotta protect my vibe and my essence and my energy. So being with you in this tangible realm, coexisting, in spite of all your indiscretions and things that I might not agree with, that's a no go. Anybody with some self respect, I can't say that, but anybody who has fortified their level of self respect is not going to continuously, intentionally keep allowing disrespect. If you set up boundaries and you set up principles for a spouse or for a brother or for a mom, whoever it may be that you set up your principles for on how to deal with you, and they constantly break those principles, don't you think that you are bound to be attached to that person? They keep breaching contracts. It's only so long before you breach a contract to where it's like, you know what? I understand that you can't abide by this contract. You keep disrespecting me. And now, uh, first time, what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So the first time, okay, you disrespected me, okay, motherfucker, you don't know no better. Second time you do it, motherfucker might say, okay, don't I gotta remind you? Then the third time they do it, cut them off. So anybody under that impression that a woman needs to stay with a man throughout whatever, that's like saying, okay, through this abuse, you should still be down with me. No, nobody with enough self worth will sit and stick with abuse. But even then, that's tough. Even then, that's tough. Even the statements I make, nothing's concrete with none of these statements I make because you got genetics and epigenetics and the shaping of gene behavior. You come from a mother, a grandma, and a great grandma, and a great 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 grandma who've lived the indoctrinating lifestyle to where they were subservient or submissive to their male counterpart. And now you got this inclination to do the same thing because uh, the way genetics work, you take the gene behaviors of your predecessors, but then if they follow into a custom, then now the potentiality of them genes to be expressed increases. So a lot of people think this is just who they are, which I'm not denouncing. I think the spectrum is everywhere. I think there is a woman who enjoys completely being submissive, and I think there is a woman who enjoys being completely dominant. As I think there's a man who enjoys. You seen Norbit? That nigga love being submissive. And then as a male that enjoys to be completely dominant, and then all in between, that's where most of us lie. I don't think far and few in between are going to be 100% domineering, 100% submissive, and those motherfuckers need to somehow meet to get together to be the match made in heaven. But for the most part, most of us play a happy medium. But due to construct, at least what I've noticed, women are indoctrinated to play that role. And though some women might innately, naturally like it, they're indoctrinated to play that role, while men are indoctrinated to be the provider, the enforcer, the man of the house, the shot caller, and then that entails a certain level of uh, qualities within a relationship. I'm choosing what to eat. Like niggas think like that. Like my girls cook dinner every night. You know, I don't touch no pot, no pan. You feel me? Uh, whatever qualities they come with. You feel me? They come with a substantial amount through indoctrination. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm still looking for the baby comments. I'm still looking for what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? What they talking about in here. All right, excuse me, y'all. Check my phone real quick. We just chilling, we just vibing. We want to know what's going on in the world. That's all we want to do in Dan's world. We want to know what's going on. And then I hear something about, and you know, everybody has their own way of navigation too. That's the thing. I don't consider people, I consider myself wrong. So uh, you make the deductions from the tangible truth of the matter, and then you formulate. But even when formulating, you don't have the actuality. You don't have the whole scope, the whole viewpoint. So I'm not here to say nobody's wrong, but I am here to give a perspective, a judgment to be like, oh damn, you're judging people. Why are you judging? Why are you judging people? If you see a nigga walking across the street from you with a shotgun, what you gonna do? You gonna judge that person as dangerous, or are you gonna not judge him? You know what? He got a shotgun. He walking around, but shit, I don't judge. I ain't. You know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind. No, because you know why? Judgments are innate. Judgments are natural. Your human condition gave you judgment for the sake of your survival. They gave you judgment for the sake of your survival. So you know when a motherfucking car coming across the road to get out the motherfucking way. So there is no I try not to judge. You can try not to. It's like saying I try not to do what my brain unconsciously does. You hear that? I try not to judge sounds like I try not to do what my brain unconsciously already does. You're trying to stop the unconscious mind from doing what it was designed to do. Whether that's to be able to walk across the street, whether that's to be able to look at somebody as a potential ally or a potential enemy. You've been given a cognitive abilities to make judgments. So to sit up here and say, I try not to judge, that's how I be knowing who's a wolf in discernment from who's a sheep in discernment. The sheep still use I try not to judge. The wolves make judgments without no regard for anybody's emotional uh, stance towards their judgment. It's facts over feelings by now. How you feel about an instance is of no consequence to the facts of the matter. So, judgments, yes, they are to be made. without emotional, uh, emotional, too much emotional investment to that judgment. Because at the end of the day, we still connected. So the judgment has to uh, hit us in a realm that's empathetic, sympathizing, to where you can't solely be based on logic. That's like capitalism. To maximize the dollar in capitalism, you would want to exploit your labor workers to the most, to the highest regard. That way you can squeeze the profit out of all the labor in which they're doing. Somebody applying uh, logical judgments in capitalism would have to be tapped in on a moral level to assist those in which they're exploiting. Otherwise, they're not going to see any benefit or any reason to pay these people more, to not exploit them in the manner in which they're exploiting them. So to make judgments with soundness is a good thing, but you also still have to be aware of emotions, aware of consciousness, life. We don't want to shit on another man or another woman. We don't want to exploit another man, another woman in his life. So it is advised that we always remain aware of that balance of being logical when making judgments, but then also being human when making judgments. You feel me? I'm gonna do both the best way I can. You feel me? I'm gonna make logical, deductive judgments and decisions, but I'm also always gonna be mindful of the energies around me. You feel me? I don't wanna I don't wanna stifle somebody's ascension, somebody's growth for the sake of what might be reasonable or rational for me. You feel me? Okay, we got somebody in here. Hey, who up in here? State your name, gangster, and what's going on with the baby? What's going on with the baby? I like the way Dave Chappelle say "baby" for some reason. The baby, and then that's one thing in itself, right there. Not to say I don't believe in randomness, so but this is not to say that this played a part in whatever instance is going on right now. I'm 27 minutes deep. Ain't nobody telling me what the fuck is going on. So shout out to you niggas for not telling me shit yet. But essentially, we seen the baby go through problems with this system of cancel culture. LGBTQ community been on his ass. And you see things like Kanye West talking about plants. There's a what they planting people, man. Your favorite celebrity is around a plant. What he calls a industry plant, a CIA plant, designed to destroy your life. If this is a plant working for a higher entity that's only in for your exploitation, for you to shut up and rap, to be an artist, then the plant essentially is there to destroy you. And so this is not to say that woman that the baby was dealing with was a plant, but this is to just make a loose correlation, loose, not a strong one. I'm not saying hey, this is what happened. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. They setting them up. I don't know. I'm not saying none of that. Actually, again, for the 13th time, I don't know the full instance in its entirety. But all these people who they try to cancel, you see them get diminished and dehumanized and degraded through the public spectrum. You feel me? All these people in which Bill Cosby, you feel me, Dave Chappelle, uh, Colin Kaepernick, Kyrie Irving, these people essentially got canceled. They were tried to get canceled by the mass majority of mainstream conglomerates. But I really think the people be standing behind some of these people strong enough, and they hold firm in their ground and their integrity to where you can't cancel no fucking Dave Chappelle. His voice, you hear that voice and you know who it is. There's no canceling that. You try to make people turn on him, he could go and flip that shit right back with a live chat. Ain't no canceling with real power. That's what it is. You can't cancel real power. And those brothers have, you feel me, accumulated a good, decent amount of power, not just tangibly. I'm talking about them applying the force within themselves to be Kyrie Irving, applying the force within himself to be Dave Chappelle, applying the force within himself to take a knee uh, in a racist league to be Colin Kaepernick. So that's powerful in itself. And then that shit is felt. It's a level of magnetism. People who aspire for that type of power or who are aware of what it takes to do something of that magnitude, they're like, oh man, I fuck with Cap. I fuck with what he's sacrificing, what he's willing to go through. So yeah, it ain't no cancel culture, man. That's a culture. That's a culture that really will always struggle to exist because humans have independency, humans have agency, even though it's being stripped subtly. Even though it's being stripped subtly, niggas is doing shit so unconscious based on TV that that agency is getting stripped. But for now, humans got agency to where, okay, you niggas cancel Dave Chappelle. I'll use something I have around me to watch Dave Chappelle. Can't cancel him from me. You feel me? But yeah, back to the essence of the point. I'm not saying that this is a somebody behind the scenes conspiring against the baby to put him out there in a negative light. I don't know what's going on again for the 15th time, but I am saying that he was somebody who was just in the cancel culture realm, and this action that has happened could not be just of an act of randomness. Maybe not. Maybe there are plants in the industry, like Kanye says. I don't. From back here, I don't know nothing. Like I said, where the book at? Where the book? Where the book? As I say for the umpteenth time, the beauty of being wrong. I don't know. I don't know this shit. I'm sitting up here asking y'all and trying to get the discussion popping as to what's really going on in this world or what's going on with this instance. I do know this though. How you treat others is a reflection of how you look at yourself. And I know it sounds cliche, but how you view this world is very reflective of your energy and your essence. That's why it gives you the light to see things from a different angle and perspective. You gotta dissociate yourself just from the light outside of you giving perspective. The most important light that shines bright in your shit is your essence and your energy that gives you the perspective. So you can have it on uh, moderately. You can have a uh, small light flickering on and off in your consciousness to where you might view the world a certain way, and then you can convert that light to a different level of force to where now you see things a totally different way, and that can pertain to how you treat people. Like when my vibration wasn't at its highest, even it's still not at its highest. It can never be at its highest. I can always tap in more to raise this vibration. But when I was of a lower frequency than now, uh, looking at people as if they were ugly or treating them with objectifying thoughts, that was something more privy based on my vibration. I wasn't shining such a high light to where the things outside of me looked marveling, magnificent. Not only the people I'm outside, like, man, it's a fucked up day. I'm complaining about the rain and shit. Today, this dame who just changed his consciousness sees that same rain and those same people he thought was ugly in a different lens. Now, did they change? Did the instance change? No. But I fixated my light to view things and perceive things differently. So, how you treat somebody, how you look at somebody, it's all based on how you exist subjectively. So, if you are uh, hitting your spouse, you feel me? Or if you are denigrating the opposite sex, if you only view women in a materialist fashion, that's more exemplifying of who you are. You have a deeply rooted level of materialism within yourself when you objectify a woman. It's not because she's a certain way, it's because that's how you perceive her and woman, to where you undermine them. Or men, to where you undermine them. Some women look at men like, shit, the nigga he can't buy me nothing, or if he don't give me good dick and can't buy me nothing, the nigga's useless. That's not all a nigga has to offer. At the core, from my belief, at the core, that essence and that energy is what is ultimate. This ain't. I will leave this body, and you guys will see a still uh, object of matter, and I'll turn a certain different color. I won't look like me. Why? Because me ain't in this body no more. This body is my host. You feel me? The essence is what truly exemplifies this nigga y'all know is Dame, or this nigga who calls himself Nobody Knows right here. Another shameless plug. Go get the beauty of being wrong. But essentially, it's the essence that reigns heavy in regards to who you are. So uh, your outlook on life, how you treat one another, how you treat yourself. A lot of us put shitty foods in our body every day. I was one of those people. I'm still not exempt from doing it occasionally. The other day I had some fucking what I have. I be taking note of this shit because it's way more scarce than it was. But the other day I had some type of I had some Funyuns and I had some Funyuns and some donuts. And then that, for me, those two things are strict in regards to my regimen of not having. But one of my friends came out. I was in a party mode, essentially. And yeah, I indulge in lower vibrational behaviors. But my point is to say, somebody who does this every day, or even me, when I do that on that day, that's me practicing self-hate. Because you really have to think an instance is either raising your light or dwindling your light. Every instance, right now, if I'm giving you light, you should stay. But if I'm not giving you light, you should get the fuck up out of here. Hey, it's like protons, neutrons, electrons. It might be a neutrality. I ain't giving you nothing. Hey, you in inertia, man. Just do what you want. But essentially, you can pinpoint actions and look at them from a spectrum of, is it growing you or is it dwindling you? So when I put Funyuns in my body, when I put donuts in my body, nigga get a cramp. Uh, Literally, oxidative stress is being put into my body. So what my body needs to function, that's like putting sugar in your tank. You don't put Kool-Aid in your gas tank to run it. You put some premium gas in that motherfucker so it can function well. So to practice self-hate can be emblematic of what you put into your own body, how you treat your own self. And then when you start doing the correlations to how you treat yourself and then how you treat others, you're going to find strong similarities. And then you'll be able to see how emblematic it is of your energy being the primal dictator and how you operate. You know what I'm saying? Someone privy to complaining about everything outside, you damn right they got complaints about themselves, whether or not they profess it or not. But it's all connected. Every day somebody wakes up, it's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Why am I happy? Why am I smiling right now? Why is this book I'm reading just so riveting? Why am I just so engaged in it? When I step outside and get some sun, why am I so grateful for that? Your essence changed. Who you are different. The environment, it was good, nice, sunny days before you change your essence. That book was still there for you to read and enjoy in that manner in which you enjoyed it. You just wasn't on the level or the spectrum to perceive it that way. Consciousness is infinite. Mm. Consciousness is infinite. Be it that consciousness is infinite and that you are consciousness, think about it. You can infinitely grow and infinitely transcend into a higher version of yourself. And because consciousness is infinite, you can lower your consciousness and you can take yourself to that realm. There's substances out here that can help you lower your vibration if you want to. McDonald's, uh, soda, heroin, fucking. There's all type of substances you can do to lower or raise your vibration, but essentially it starts with you. It starts with you, B. And this topic for anybody just newly joining, we're going everywhere. That's what we doing, Dan, is where we ramble. But essentially, it was predicated on me figuring out. It's a couple people in here right now, so maybe y'all can help me. What happened with the baby situation? Can anybody type that in right now? Watching what did they purport? Of course, y'all niggas don't know what happened either. Y'all wasn't there. But y'all probably saw the live. I didn't see the whole live. Seen a little clip of a nigga saying she's my side bitch, which I guess I can give my take on that piece right there. Niggas operate differently. We all operate differently. But I would never out, for one, I would never out that coexisting relationship. But I don't have the context in what she did prior to that. But personally, I don't care what she did. I'm not going public to the world to shame anybody, especially not intentionally. I might get into some banter on Facebook and it could feel like I'm shaming somebody. I do that. I've been called shit. This week I was called an asshole. I get called an asshole pretty much once a week now. You feel me? I should get paid for the many times I get called an asshole. But yeah, no, essentially, I'm not that guy to where, okay, yeah, you see her? This is my side. Yeah, I thought that was cheesy. I thought that was corny. I think that was no way to treat somebody that you cared for. Only people I'm gonna deliberately shame is a racist ass policeman or a racist ass citizen or a sexist citizen. When I see somebody who's not fit for my society, that's the thing. That's what we gotta understand. The way this paradigm was created, it was fit for rapists. It was fit for racists. It was fit for classes. It was fit for people to objectify. That's why it's still perpetuated in abundance. Pedophilia, we've been talking about it for about a couple years, but you don't see military or government action on reducing those things because this society provokes all that shit. So in my world, these niggas, these rapists, these murderers, them is the niggas I'm shaming. Now, if I'm single, by the way, just to let you niggas know. You feel me? Anybody just wondering, I don't have any companionship. You feel me? So if you got a pretty young woman out there that want to take Dame on a date that you know of, or I'll take them on a date either way, ain't no gender roles. Baby girl, you want to take me? I'll take. But nonetheless, if I was to be in an entanglement and then have another entanglement, hypothetically, yeah, you ain't gonna find me just doing her like that. You feel me? But that's a whole nother subject in itself. Where we at with it? Thoughts on the situation. Summer Walker, what's up with that one? What's up with the Summer Walker one, man? Let me know. Cause I just been hearing niggas complaining. And that's the thing, like when you out the loop, like I'm out the loop, but I get on Facebook, Instagram, scroll down my timeline, see my friendships, what they talking about, what they doing. I am one of those people who will willingly admit my addiction to just social media. I'm on it too much. I'm on that bitch right now. But so I don't get I don't get the source. You feel me? Especially if it's not of interest to me. If it's of interest, then I'll research and do my groundwork. But when it comes to instances like this, I just see through the timeline. Oh man, the baby wrong for that. Oh man, he said he was. He said he was already in this. What's wrong with what he did? Da, da, da. We hit. All we do is like petty gossip, and that's the thing. Where there's attention, there's light. So we can take the light from petty gossip and flip this shit to where it's not just petty gossip anymore. It's dialogue in the realm of expanding consciousness. To sit back and say who's right or who's wrong all day and to not get the other side of it is to stagnate your own consciousness and vibration. All you getting is discord, friction. Oh no, you wrong, you crazy. Why you think that? And then no matter what they say, you're not even trying to hear what they say. They're just, they're spewing a refutation against what you got to say. So be it that you know that it's not in alignment with yours, you're not even going to be receptive to the information in the manner in which provokes growth, provokes light. So when you say you wrong, you wrong, you wrong, the baby did this, he wrong. And then someone say, hold on, man, I just think that you already in defense mode. To where it's like, I don't give a fuck what you say. Whatever you say, blah, 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 I'm gobbling that shit up. That's petty gossip. That's dialogue that doesn't enhance you or anybody in the square of dialogue. Now, the dialogue that does, hey, you know what? I don't know. Again, the beauty of being wrong. I don't know, but here's my perspective on it, bro. This is how I feel about that instance. You talking to a female, I think that's apt for this discussion. A male talking about his perception on this instance and a female talking about their perception, and they happen to disagree. And it's like, okay, you disagree in opinion. Why do you think that way? And then they give you the reason. Because when you are a person of discernment, you have reasoning for your opinions. You don't just have your opinions based on your emotions. Oh man, I went through the same situation. That's why I feel like this way. That's an emotional stance, which is understood. Again, like we said in the beginning, we're not to strip uh, emotional engagements within this dialogue and these uh, realms of coexisting. So it's understood. However, you can't solely base your judgment just off prior moments that made you feel a certain way. At some point, the grounds need something to stand on. Otherwise, it's not grounds. The opinion needs grounds to stand on. You feel me? Otherwise, it's just fluttering in the fucking air. Unfounded opinion that can be swiped from its feet. You feel me? But it's a tough game, man. It's a tough game because a lot of people may not formulate opinions on that basis and may hop into these dialogues without having using logic at all, just using past references of how I felt about an instance and my bias as a female or my bias as a male. So it's like, no, that nigga shit, he ain't wrong. Shit, I had a girl that liked just like that bitch. That's why I kicked her out. Shit, nigga, that's how niggas be talking to me. Like when niggas talk uh based on traditionalism and emotion, and then they dismiss logic. A logical person will tell you, I'm not right. I'm not sure. I think, but I don't know. An unlogical person will tell you, I'm sure. I know for sure. Based on my experience, this is true. There's different realms, man. You got the traditionalists, you got the practicalists, then you have the emotionalist. I don't even know if that's a word, but somebody who just, every time an instance comes up, I feel so strongly about it that I have to tell you guys why it's wrong because of how I feel. Thank you, Nisi Mobe, if I'm pronouncing it right. Loyalist, for sure, Nisi. How you doing? Much love. He was recording the newborn on Instagram. She didn't like it. They started arguing. That was their personal drama, and it was live. It's a distraction to keep our people from the AA trial. Finally, somebody gives us some light. Thank you, Nisi, for the observation as well as your opinion. I want you niggas to distinguish the two. The opinion is it's a distraction to keep our people from the AA trial, in which you're gonna have to fill me on too, because I've been in my own realm in my world to where whatever's going on outside of this matrix, I haven't been privy to. Whether it's the baby, whether it's social issues going on, I just been locked in my tunnel. But that's her. That's her argument from the facts, arguing about their personal drama and going live and then taking that to garner the attention of all of us, which is uh, good that Nisi brought this up because now we could talk about what's the attention is not being pointed to. The AA trial. Matter of fact, I'm about to look this shit up as we speak. Don't be don't be ashamed to be uninformed or ignorant in certain realms. I am ignorant to the AA trial. I don't have knowledge on it. All it means to be ignorant is to lack knowledge. We are all ignorant to something. Nobody's all knowing in this bitch. That's why I need y'all. I be needing y'all to help me on some of this shit. Okay, see, but is AA an abbreviation for something? Is it a specific person's trial, maybe? Because when I looked it up, I couldn't. I found too many different things popping up that were in differentiation. So let me know, Nisi. Give me if you could give me a little bit more breakdown on the AA trial. You feel me? So we can take this to a whole nother spectrum. But essentially, like we said, attention is light. Where you put your attention to should either help or harm you. If it's there to entertain you solely, you have to question the intentionality. And then you have to look at the underlying message. If this is forming a level of divide between communities that should be together, whether that's the black woman and the black male, whether this is just a ploy to keep us consciously at a certain level of gossip, argumentation, negative banter. It could be these things. So we just have to be mindful of what we're feeding ourselves, literally and metaphorically. When we do fixate days and hours of our attention. Okay. There we go. Ahmaud Arbery. So I am aware of that situation. Okay. The lawyer said he didn't like all these black pastors at the trial. He didn't like Jesse and Al Sharpton there. Rest in power, Ahmaud Arbery. Oh man, and that's the thing. That's the thing too. As I'm doing just a little bit of, okay, do a little bit of just a little bit of digging. But have you ever seen Boondocks? Have you ever seen Boondocks with the preacher who's exploiting the community for personal gain and deliberately working within the system while quote unquote practicing activism outside for some people who may not be aware of the underhanded nature of those engagements? When she says Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, these are exactly the people I think of on the Boondocks. Charlatans, opportunists, seeking personal advantage, even if they're trying to look out for family, but seeking an advantage that might compromise our people as a collective or might misdirect the movement. You feel me? Yeah, we got genuine, sincere people who have dealt with a loss, suffer from real hardship, and want real justice. So to use situations like this and leverage your positioning in life based on a situation like this, that's something again where I said this is where we have to be more emotional than logical. This is where capitalist men might be at a disadvantage predisposition wise because we so logical of making a buck might seem good to us even while exploiting somebody. So uh, if Al Sharpton is there, money is there. That's that simple. If Al Sharpton is there, money is there. He wanted the judge to stop them from coming. The judge told him not to bring it up again. Oh, that's foul play. Definitely that's foul play to me. And the thing is, why do you want him there? What's the point of him being there? You know what I'm saying? This is this man's family asking out of a request. This ain't no fucking show. And that's another thing in itself, man. A lot of this shit, we be a part of the show, watching. Yeah. Reality TV ain't reality. Reality TV ain't reality. The shit on the news, I'm questioning that shit more and more. And don't get it twisted. I'm always gonna think that what they're telling me is an altered narrative based on the powers that be who control those outlets. But even when they give us a image from a film that says somebody got murdered or says somebody stole, you see how good technology is today. All this shit could be a show, theatrics, put on just to consume our mind, which brings me back to your point, Nisi, of a distraction to keep us from the trial. They use distractions all day to keep us from our higher self. Like, it's so many things, like even keeping our mind fixated on unarmed murders as Black people. Keeping our mind fixated on it makes it more of a reality, more than it actually is. I'm not saying it's not a reality. It's definitely a reality. Racist people and racist cops do exist and kill us disproportionately in comparison to anybody else. I'm not disputing that. However, when you got images that are constantly put in your mind to remind you that these niggas is hunting you, these niggas is killing you, Black people dying, Black people in hardship, Black people suffering, then you're building a matrix within your own mind that constitutes that as reality. So from the decisions that you do in the outside world, they're going to be predicated based on all the things you've been indoctrinated to formulate your decision. For example, you driving a car, you ain't do shit, but then a cop come behind you, and you got imagery all in your head of, oh, they kill niggas like me. Excuse me. Let me brighten this light. Let me brighten this light so they can get this work. You got images all in your head telling you, oh shit, based on what I've learned, the cops are gonna shoot me. So even though it's tangibly a truth that you should be aware of, when we have images that are only given to us like this, we're slaves, we're robbers, we're victims of murder, we're constantly being killed. I see Black men get killed on TV so much that outside, unconsciously, whether or not I want to walk around and act like I don't have that knowledge, when I walk outside, I'm overly aware I'm a Black man. Overly aware. And that's something that we got to be mindful of as Black men, melanated beings, Black men, Black women, brown men, brown women. You got to understand this. You got melanin. You got melanin. Your opposition was against that. The reason why they go and attack Black and brown, darker skin is because they believe, in my opinion, they believe in the force of the people with the darker skin. And we have to suppress those people. But you got brown skin, you under that same level of suppression too. Just you're under that same microscope. It's just not you're not our direct point of emphasis. But we don't want you lifting up your shit either. So you gotta be mindful of all that shit. So when we talk about distractions from our higher consciousness, even this trial gives us trauma. Even following this trial gives us trauma. Even following this trial can provoke PTSD. I remember watching the Trayvon trial, and I was young. By this time, that shit was like 10 years ago. I remember watching that trial and literally just hurting because shit, this is what I do every day. I walk and get snacks at that point in my life. I walked and got snacks every day. So just indoctrinating myself with that harsh reality. Of course, I'm gonna move with a certain different level of paranoia and fear, and a car creeping up. I might not know if that's a cop coming for my life, coming to get me. So I say that to say we have to find different tools of indoctrination. We have to find different tools of indoctrination that invoke that higher vibration. I love meditation. You see in the back. You see, if you, hold on, maybe we could. I have to let stuff like that subconsciously come into my head because the frequency, it's no words, but it's a vibration. And that's the thing you have to understand. Information is not just words that you can see. You don't just get your information from text, at least tangible text. Everything here is context. The air you breathe is information, signaling to your body to behave a certain way, whether that's to get deep breaths or to shorten your breath, depending on the quality of air you got. These sound waves from this video, when I turned it up, it's honestly like, when it was on low, it was still unconsciously getting in, very low. But now I can damn near feel the consciousness. This feels like a mind. This feels like a mind frequency, something to shift the pineal. I don't know. Let me see what this was. Perception and clairvoyance, higher mind, awaken your psychic abilities. I didn't know what the video was called. I just clicked it. But essentially, this type of shit is obsolete. In contrast, they give you things literally, if it ain't sex, murdering our own, dividing our people, eating bullshit, and you ain't getting nothing. They not giving you love consistently. I can't remember a black family. Well, and that could be how I'm indoctrinated too. I'm sure there's shows out there that show a black family thriving and doing what they need to do. Precisely. Every day we deal with it and keep moving. Just be aware, focus, and listen. That's the key. Being willing to grow, not being hindered by a construct and a system. Because at the end of the day, you're God. Yeah, and that's why you was given these conditions. That's what I always say. Like, if you believe in a higher force, some don't. If you believe in a higher force, you believe that their level of practicality supersedes what you can even conjure. So their level of ordinance, structure, goes beyond your human perception. So in the moments in which you don't understand, you still have faith because you know that the creator is always working in its grand design. So I say that to say, when I look at today and I look at yesterday and all the days I've been alive and the people who have endured hardships looking like me, then I feel the essence of myself and the capabilities and the power in which I have. I come to now to realize I was built for this shit. Not that I deserve it, not that none of our people deserve to be oppressed and to have to start from a certain level of existence. I don't believe that. I believe everybody needs an equal playing field to thrive. But when you just look at how the universe works and the nature of certain people put in certain positions and other people put in other positions, it's like, damn, this almost seems like a design to where it's testing some people. I'm gonna put my gems, I'm gonna put my diamonds in the rough. They'll come out still in abundance once they tap into self. They tap into themselves and know that they diamonds, they'll come out. So honestly, like when I see this shit, like you say, just keep it moving, be aware, focus, and listen. It's all a part of the matrix in which a god or a goddess has to endure. We not finna start out bearing all the fruits of this shit. We finna start out having to figure it out because from that darkness comes ultimate abundance and light. I can't be my highest self without hardship. And then you just see the divinity of melanated beings, whether that's through art, through creation, through craft, through speech, whatever. All this shit is creative. The creation isn't marginalized to anything. You talk about the creative capacity of melanated beings, even in regards to making black babies and then white babies, then red hair babies, and then brown, even that realm of creation. You just see it so plentiful when it comes from melanated beings to where it's godlike. Who's the ultimate creator? You're the ultimate creator, and then these people create at such a high level, they must be tapped into your divine nature. And then with that, you place these people, whether the divine maybe place these people, because I don't believe that white men don't have power to do this shit. White men could be used as a catalyst to assist these guys on their journey. Unless you don't believe in the grand order. You feel me? Unless you think all this shit is randomness and individual man or a division of men have a certain set of powers within themselves to invoke certain situations. Because I believe I got power, but at the end of the day, this power came from somewhere. And I don't have to use this power to raise my ethics or to help the ethics of another person. I could use this for, to me, what I call a dark side. I could use this same force in a negative manner, but I'm not. And you see, most of our people in these situations, we don't really do that. Unless you reduce to crime and poverty, violence. Let's not get it twisted. The top indicator of crime is poverty, not whether or not you black or white or no. You look in low economic situations to find crime. So I'm not saying we all are tapped into our higher self, but we all got it in us. We all have it in us. Melanated people, I'm talking specifically to you, but I'm not excluding anybody from this. I think everybody has the potential to tap into that higher version of self to where no situation can hold you back. Like Nisi was pointing out, like, yeah, be aware of this shit, but don't look down and be like, oh man, ain't nothing we could do about this shit, damn, it's hopeless outside. No, it's always something you could do. Starting with fortifying yourself. Starting with fortifying yourself. Don't look for the world to change if you're not willing to. Don't look for the world to change if you're not willing to. Because little do you know, the world changes when you do. Little do you know, the world changes when you do. But I kind of reached my limit. I ain't gonna lie. I was over here for an hour and 7. I meant to be on here for 30 to 45. Nisi, I'm glad you came and joined the discussion. We're going to be doing much more of these, hopefully in an organized fashion. My head just been everywhere, so y'all have to forgive me. So I randomly pop up and, precisely. You use the power. The thing is, like, this is what I see. Nisi says if you use the power negatively, that's your lower self, 100%. You use the power positively, it's your higher self. Then it's depends on what you perceive positive and negative to be. This is your own personal ethics, right? So this is where we can judge something based on our ethical principles. So, for example, somebody who's good at stealing, just deceiving, moving around in a certain slippery way, they could be a spy for the betterment of the collective. You could be spying on people who might be stealing. So that same force, that power is still power nonetheless. It's just how you use that power. You can use that power to be stealing, or you can use that same power to prevent motherfuckers from stealing from the community. But nonetheless, it's power you hold. Now, how you hold that power, that shit is on you, depending on your ethics, depending on what you believe in. I believe in using my power to affirm life, to assist life. If I can kick consciousness like this to somebody else and they benefit from it, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I'm satiated by that because I've gave somebody something in which helps them on their journey. And then in doing so, it helped me on my journey. You feel me? All these things are building blocks to my better self. So 100%. And then I can use this same power of talking to somebody, giving them consciousness, because again, consciousness is not high or low, it just is what it is. I can give them rhetoric through this consciousness that can lower their vibration. Oh, you ain't shit, you bitch ass nigga. What the fuck you doing with your life, motherfucker? You a dirty mother. You ain't never gonna be shit. Kicking this type of rhetoric. And that's me using that same power. You talk about when I'm uplifting somebody, hey, little fella, you can get it done. You have the power, you have the strength. Giving them tutelage, giving them the information in which I got, literally like spewing the water on the seedling for them to grow. And then you have me giving them negative dialogue, giving them a lack of affirmations. That's putting fucking soda on that seedling, and it'll never grow from that point. So yeah, man, in closing, for sure, Nisi, that's a hell of a point. Use your power in a manner that's life affirming. And if it's life affirming to you, it'll entail positivity. If you see somebody who was in a down situation and then you gave them whatever you gave them, you feel me? You had the power to give them something, whether that's a good conversation, whether that was just a hug. We got to start really assessing power, not just tangible money. You don't got money, you don't got power. Power, well, money is one spectrum of power. And the ultimate power is the thing that made the money, the energy behind the money. So we have to realize the power of a hug, the power of talking to somebody when they need it, the power of listening. Some people literally just need somebody to listen to sometimes. Man. But nonetheless, I could go all day. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. I gotta get to some duties in this physical world. You feel me? Not this meta world. You feel me? But much love, Nisi. Appreciate you for coming. I always like when you come. Much love to everybody who stopped. Subscribe to Dame's World on this YouTube. Of course, I'm gonna do my shameless plug as I always do. The beauty of being wrong. I just like how this shit look too, man. I'm so proud of myself. Out on Amazon right now, out in Barnes and Nobles. You can order them both online, or you can, if you reach me directly, you can get an inscribed autographed copy. I got copies all in the room and shit. So, but much love to everybody. Highest of vibes, man. Peace. I know this was to be about little baby, but come on, man. Are we gonna talk? Are we gonna sit up here and literally talk about how a man is wrong all day, or how a woman is wrong, or they both wrong, or are we gonna sit and take the dialogue to another realm to where we can benefit from it? Because I'm not with sitting and chastising somebody all day. That's not my thing. I don't. I hope he grows from it. I hope she grows from it. I hope she's not a plant. I hope somebody outside of this situation isn't dictating this situation. And unfortunately, I feel like somebody usually is when we watch these motherfuckers manifest. But that's for another video and another discussion. Much love to y'all, man. Vibe high, it's your boy Dane. Go get the beauty of being wrong.